My name is Reggie Webb. I'm a McDonald's owner-operator. My family and I operate 17 locations here in Southern California.
I am Kiana Webb. I am a McDonald's owner-operator in Southern California. I own 6 restaurants.
My name is Kyle Webb. I am a McDonald's owner-operator here in Southern California. I am the owner of 1 location, as well as I'm the chief financial officer of my family's business.
I'm Eric Thomas. I'm a restaurant manager for McDonald's. I have worked for McDonald's for 13 years.
My name is Stephanie Baker. I am the Deputy Superintendent of Pomona Unified School District.
In our community, there are very few examples of African Americans who operate successful businesses. And one of the legacies that we have is we're a living example that, one, is possible to do, and secondly, that we can do it well, and thirdly, that we can help other people to do it as well. In the late 50s and early 60s, opportunities for African Americans were very slim, very small. And in the early 60s, McDonald's brought their first African American franchisee in. His name was Herman Petty, and he was in Chicago. Today, there are about 260 families in McDonald's that own African American families that own McDonald's restaurants. Our legacy is really all about initiating and starting something that continues well beyond us and into generations that we don't even know.
Legacy means to me taking care of and protecting what my parents have built and growing that and creating something that's my own that really personifies who I am beyond that, and nurturing it in such a way that if my children decide to become a part of this business, that they have a home and a place that they can come to do the same.
My McDonald's story began in 1973. I was an operations trainee, which is kind of an accelerated management development program. I started working for the company. I worked for the company for 12 years. And in 1985 became a franchisee here in Southern California. I really wanted to tie my star to a star that was going somewhere. McDonald's was a young company. They had just been listed on the New York Stock Exchange. They were a dynamic young company, and I tied my star to McDonald's, and as it's risen, so have I. One of the blessings of being in business is having the opportunity of working with my wife, my daughter, and my son. It is just so important as a family unit that we not only get to have the traditional relationships that husband and wife have and parents and children have, but we also get to be business partners.
I always grew up with an understanding that I was a part of a brand that was amazing. When I was in college, my dad had purchased McDonald's when I was in 1985. So when I was in college, I went into the hospitality management field thinking I was going to be in hotels. When I came out of school, I went to work for a clothing company and was an assistant buyer and realized how much I missed being a part of McDonald's. And in 2001, I joined my family business on my journey to become an approved owner-operator.
I grew up in McDonald's. It's kind of awesome. I remember as a youngster, take your child to work day was every Saturday if I didn't have a basketball game. I really feel like I grew up in McDonald's growing up in this family.
For us, my wife and I, we've transitioned from being the leaders of our business to supporting our children, who are now the leaders of our business. And I can see a day when their children are in the position of coming up to do what they're doing today. Having our children work with us day to day is just a lot of fun.
I love my family, and I like my family. So who better to work with than people you love and people you like on a daily basis? My sister is my best friend and my boss. It's an amazing dichotomy sometimes. We share an office, and sometimes she has to scold me like a little brother. Sometimes she has to scold me like a direct report. And sometimes we just get to act like brother and sister. It is awesome. I couldn't imagine a better or more fulfilling work environment.
McDonald's for me is not just about food and fries and burgers. McDonald's really is about family. It's also about really the people who I get to work with every day.
My experience in working with the Webb family has been one that is a privilege. It is an honor to work with a group of people who embrace the same core values.
It's so nice to walk into stores and see familiar faces and have conversations that is about, taking care of each other, finding out how they're doing, getting involved in others' lives.
Working for the Webb family, it's not really work. It's more interacting with family. For starters, they always ask me how my family is doing, so I love it.
The first two stores my parents ever bought was in the city of Pomona. And I went to school in the city of Pomona. And my heart, it really is in the city of Pomona.
For them to choose Pomona, to choose our students, to choose our schools, to choose our community, and then to work so cohesively and to build relationship in the process has just been life-changing for me in many ways.
And now that we are in 9 different cities in 2 different counties, to continue with that tradition of giving back, knowing who your community members are, who your fellow partners are, and really reaching out to make a difference in others' lives is really what we are about as a family. A lesson my father has instilled in me, they're innumerable. He gives a lot of lessons.
The one lesson that I hope people learn from my example is that it doesn't matter where you start out, it matters where you end up. Success is not a secret. I try to teach young people that the same thing that it takes in basketball and football to be successful is the same thing that it takes in business. At the end of the game, if you have more points than the other team, you win.